Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of the UK Connection on this glorious Saturday afternoon, early evening, wherever you might be. It's beautiful where we are in the UK and here in the US of A, alongside my good friends, Mr. Simon Bray, Mr. Steven Reid. What's happening, guys?
Yeah, it's all good, all good. Yourselves?
Doing all right. Doing okay. Another week in the books, man. I can't believe it's February already. Seemed like we were just saying hello 2025 and now already we're like inching towards the end of the first quarter. I'm like, sucks getting old, man. Time just goes
I was
by way too fast.
just going to say that's a sign of getting old. We're all doing it.
And I see Simon is wearing his Billy Joel t-shirt. Today is all about Billy Joel. We're going to do a ranking the songs on a classic album, which feels like we haven't done in a while. And that album is, of course, 52nd Street by Billy Joel. And I know when we announced the show last time, there were some people were like, well, but isn't The Stranger considered his classic album? I would say both of them are. I may favor The Stranger by a little bit, but anybody who says this is the classic Billy Joel album, I wouldn't argue it because I think it's great. I don't want to give too much away. Before we start talking about it, we got something to do, a little bit of business before we start talking about 52nd Street. Simon, what are you drinking?
I have got a rural brewing company, Fireside Stout.
Ooh.
Can you see it, Stephen? Can you see that?
I can.
It's for outdoorsy people like me. I do sometimes go out,
Okay.
to the car.
Not much of a camper though, or backpacking and hiking and all that sort of thing.
I'd rather listen to the entire catalog of Van Halen than that.
Okay.
Which he has done. More of that later.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah. No camping. But let's see what the beer's like, shall we? So here we go.
Oh, that's a pretty sexy looking beer. Nice head there.
Nice. Always like nice head. So mm. Yeah, nom. Very good. Yes. Mm.
Rating?
Is Norm an official score?
Nom is an official score. So we three-letter words we need tonight.
Jesus, put us on the spot. Holy crap.
You always go to me first. It's your own fault.
That is true. I will admit. That's my fault. Okay. I let Simon set the stage every single episode, and half the time I probably regret it, but that's okay.
You do. And I do too. Anyway, so what have I got today? I have got a Tanfield export from
Wow.
Bruton Brewery.
Brutally.
They're called the Bruton.
Related to Tiny Toons? Possibly.
No. As you can tell from the character here, they're called Bruton because they're from Peterhead. Okay, and Peterhead is known as the Blue Toon, right? Now I had to look this up because the football club is called the Blue Toon, and I thought I have no idea why they're called the Blue Toon, and it's because it is a fishing town, and traditionally the fishermen wore blue stockings, some sort of fantastic fisherman sock. Who knew? And from there they became the Blue Toon. So we have the Blue Toon. As I say, Tanfield Export. It looks like this in the glass. Okay, it just looks like an export, really. It's 5%. Oh yeah, it's like an 80 shilling, really, if that's any up to anybody. Is kind of what that's like. Oh, three-letter review. Hmm.
Does that have three letters? I guess it could.
That one did.
Supposing
That was
you
short.
were supposing you were the crash test dummies.
Then this would be beer.
Or
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Yes.
yeah, coming up soon, the ranking of the test crash dummies.
Yes, Crash Dummies. I don't think we'll do that. No,
We'll
let's
rank
not.
their hits, shall we?
Uh, all right. So I had lots to choose from today because my brother, who lives in New Jersey, brought me for Christmas like a case and a half of all sorts of different. He does this every year. Brings me a whole bunch of different beers from various breweries in New Jersey. And because I've been sick, they've just been sitting in my fridge, and I really haven't even dipped into them until today. And I opened up the fridge and I'm like, wow, there's so much to choose from. So I have inventory for the next probably 3 shows at least. So I'm picking this one today. I've never even heard of this brewery before. It's called the Original Wet Ticket Brewing Company in Rahway, New Jersey. And this is a Kolsch Prost German style ale. 5.5% alcohol. Is there anything else from the brewed and canned by Wet Ticket Brewing Company in Rahway, New Jersey? And it kind of looks like this. I've got it in my Zeus Brewing Company glass. Not a lot of head on this. It looks like almost like it's a little on the flattish side, but it's pretty damn good. That's really good, actually. Wow. That's a ton good.
Um,
Really good. It's funny because it's got like a little, it's got a lot of fizziness to it. Very crisp though. Good. It's got a nice little hoppy aftertaste to it. Very good. Very good German Kolsch. I like it. Thumbs up. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
cheers.
I realize it's the first like non stout that I have had on the show in quite a while. I know I had an episode where I didn't have anything because we taped it like ungodly early hour of the day, my time, but that's the first like kind of like Kolsch Pilsner or lager that I've had on the show in quite, I think, God, a couple months. I
Yeah,
think
I'd say so.
I've just been doing stouts for like since like I think October. So very good. Very good. So today, like I said, it is all about 52nd Street today. We're going to rank the songs. I'm going to take it all apart, rank the songs as we like them. Uh, but do either one of you gentlemen have any little bit of factoids about 52nd Street before we get started?
I am not an expert on Billy Joel, but I do. I've put some stuff together, so you can correct me when I start to talk rubbish, but give me some time. Okay, so this is 52nd Street by Billy Joel. I don't have any show and tell today. It was released on October the 11th, 1978 through Columbia Records. Now, this was produced by Phil Ramone, and that CV is just stupid. His credit list is ginormous. Chicago, Paul Simon, Bob Dylan, Aretha Franklin, Elton John, Madonna, Paul McCartney, Frank Sinatra. We could fill the whole show just with his CV. He is not mucking about. These are top level artists. Crazy stuff. Now, I am no expert on Billy Joel, as I've already said, and it's not so easy to work out the core band because there are a million people on this album. However, from what I can work out, the core band are Billy Joel, obviously, on piano and vocals, Doug Stegmeyer on bass, Liberty Levito on drums,
Yep.
Richie Kanata on sax, organ, and clarinet. And where I've read it, he's called Mr. Steve Kahn on both electric and acoustic guitar. Now, there is a ginormous list of top line session musicians that come and go as they please across this album. An amazing amount of people, 20, 30, whatever it is, across 9 songs, mainly from the jazz world. I won't go into it because we could be here again all night, but it's really impressive stuff in that sense. This was Joel's first album to hit number 1 in the US. It spent 8 weeks there and it also got to the top of the charts in Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. It got to number 10 here in the UK and it also went top 10 in Austria and Japan. So 52nd Street spent an amazing 76 weeks in the US charts and it is certified 7 times platinum there. It went 4 times platinum in Canada, double platinum in Australia, platinum in New Zealand, and gold in the UK and Japan. There were 3 singles released from the album in the US. My Life got to number 3, Big Shot got to number 14, and Honesty got to number 24. My Life got to number 12 here in the UK, but the other 2 did not chart, although Until the Night also seems to have been released here, and that got to number 50. So a reasonable placing, nothing special. And that there is 52nd Street by Billy Joel.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of in-demand session players made their way onto some of these Billy Joel albums, especially this one. And you mentioned Steve Kahn on guitar, and he's played with a lot of different artists. Really, also good jazz fusion guitar artist, solo artist on his own. So yeah, a lot of these guys are just they're big time session people. Liberty DeVito was a longtime drummer for the band, probably the most famous drummer that he played with over the years. So cool. So we got 9 tracks. So should we go three, three, and three?
Yep.
All right. All right, Simon, what do you got for 9, 8, and 7?
Let's do that, shall we? Three, three, and three. I am so much looking forward to this. I really am. So I would absolutely concur that this and 52nd Street are his best albums. This would probably be my favorite.
So this one's
Just
slightly over the stranger for you. Okay, I get it.
yeah. I really like this album in a way that maybe not all of us do. So let's go for it, shall we? Okay. So I would suggest that there's probably on any given day about 7 potential favorite songs for me on this album. I like it that much. And even the ones that you're about to find at number 9 and 8 are really excellent. They're just not quite what I gravitate towards. Let me explain. So my number 9 is the title track, 52nd Street. You've met me, kind of. You know what I think of jazz. Not much. Yeah. So 52nd Street is a little bit too jazzy for me. Little bit downbeat. I like my Billy Joel to be upbeat. I do. That said, I mean, it's great, and I think we need to say right now um, that Phil Ramon's production on this is great. It's
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah.
And the arrangements are fantastic. Everything is very much in the right place. And sometimes, I'll come on to let's just say my life later on. And when I mention that later on, sometimes you think, oh, that could do, I really want that to be more oomph. But I'm listening to it at home in the car in my ears. I'm not listening to it in a stadium. And there's no need for, too much oomph like all modern records have today. No, we don't
Because
need
too
all
much oomph would make it a Phil Spector production, and it doesn't quite need
that.
it, right? Yeah.
That's right. But Phil's going to get a mention any second now. I would have thought. And half a mile away is my number 8. Number 8, but it's pop genius. It really is. Absolutely poptastic. It's really quite funky. It's down at number 8 because it kind of I can see a through line between this and the Innocent Man album. And I have never ever wanted to stand on the street corner and do doo-wop. Never wanted to do that. Just not my thing. I mean, I'm equally not an Italian American, so it begs the question: why do I like this album as much as I do? But half a mile is an excellent pop tune, beautifully beautifully performed. Everything about it's great. But number 8. So how good must the rest be? That's right, Stephen. They're all really good. That's right, Stephen. Glad we're on the same page. Okay, my 7 and my last one for this section is Until the Night, which is very Spectre-ish production-wise. I believe it was written with the Righteous Brothers as a Righteous Brother tribute, and you can imagine Bill Medley doing this one. Rumbling that voice down there. You can Pete, come back, Pete.
I'm here. I'm just opening my blinds a little because I'm
Okay,
starting to get a
just
little
say,
dark out.
Richie Canatta's sax solo on that is the absolute business. It really is. And I know how much you like saxophone, Pete, as well. So um, so much great stuff on it. And towards the end of the song, the solo kind of really brings it home. The sax solo really brings it home. I don't think there's enough sax in rock music. I really don't. I feel like it should be obligatory. Let's all just think about Raining Blood with sax for a second. You know, I'm right. I'm right. But yeah, I think all to use the vernacular of dickheads, even 9, 8, and 7 are absolute bangers. I know you like that word, Stephen, so I thought I'd use
Oh,
it.
I hate that phrase so much, but there you
Oh,
go.
maybe they're also tunes spelled CHOON as well. Well, I'm going for it. So yeah. Those are my 9, 8, and 7. 52nd Street, half a mile away, and then Silver Nights. And they're all excellent.
At least tunes is cheesy enough that it feels like it's people our age that should be saying it. People our age saying bangers
Yeah.
doesn't.
What about tunage?
No,
Yeah,
that's not.
I like banger, but you have to use it when
Oh,
it's appropriate.
but that's correct, which is never.
Never,
Well remembered.
never,
That's
ever,
good. I like
ever.
that. That's good. See, so I knew we were on the same page there. Now I'm taking notes already because I have found a lot of contradiction here. Okay, because I listened to this album. I'm half Italian, but I'm definitely not Italian American. Okay, and I can't relate to this at all. Now, it's taught me one thing that I've meant to have learnt long before now, which is while we're doing a different show and somebody goes, I know a great idea, and during the recording, I go, that is a great idea. I need to learn to go, is that a good idea before I speak? Okay, because that's why I ended up here. Right. The second thing that I've picked up, even as you were going through your first three tracks, Simon, is that you don't like jazz. Really, as a rule, I'm sure there's some jazz out there you may like. This album's got a lot of jazz on there. There's jazz throughout this entire album. Okay, it's not, I mean, it's not kind of going jazz, but it's there all the time. It's never not there. Maybe one song, but it's kind of not there. So I'm totally confused. Anyway, my number nine, and I apologise because I believe that the inspiration is much more heartfelt than I'm about to make this song sound, is Rosalind's Eyes. Honestly, I mean, no, this will not do at all. This is, I am so pleased. The best thing about this song is that it doesn't open the album because if it had, I might have had to phone in sick today because I couldn't have coped with much more, right? Because this is just lounge singer stuff.
You don't even like
And
the chorus?
no, not at all. There's a chorus.
Yeah.
And it kind of ends up somewhere where Miami Sound Machine wouldn't dare to go. I think it's quite awful. I really don't like this. I scored these songs out of 10 because most of this was quite new to me. Obviously, the singles I knew. Most of this was quite new to me, and I scored this a ginormous 2. I think it's absolutely terrible. At least, though, there is a soprano recorder solo because who doesn't love a soprano recorder solo? That'll be me then, okay, because it sounds like the guy's auditioning for One Man and His Dog. It's not good. It's really not good. And he doesn't one shout come by. So I'm not having that, okay? Number 8 for me. Yes, Simon.
I'd like to congratulate you on your one man and a dog reference.
Why, thank you. See what I did there? Anyway, moving swiftly along.
I think that's the only congratulations you're going to get from him in this entire show.
I think it might well be.
That was absolute gibberish, but the UK cultural reference was excellent. Also, it's Rosalinda's Eyes, not what you said.
Oh, yeah, mere details. Let's not worry about that.
Just because
Okay,
you can't even say what it's called.
yeah, I did, kind of. It's my accent. Nobody can understand me. We're all good. Okay, so number 8 for me. Okay, and I listened to this album. I've listened to it a lot. I really have. I've put in the hard yards here. We're into, I don't know, 15, 20 listens on this over the past few weeks because I have really decided that there must be more to this than I can understand. So when I first listened, stroke, watched this song, Zanzibar, on YouTube, I presumed it was a single because the video that's on YouTube, wow, it's like Tron meets Tales of the Unexpected. Okay, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Tales of the Unexpected in the US, but the start of that has women all naked, pretending they're Bob Catley, really. Okay, they're all kind of doing this, okay, and they don't say the spirit at any point. Okay, and the video's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And then I discovered there was a song that went alongside it, and I wasn't really on board with that at all. It did make me realise, though, why Uncle Simon loves Barry Manilow, because that's really where we are here. I'm guessing that Zanzibar is kind of 2 streets down, turn left at the Chippy, and you get to the Copacabana.
100%. You are not wrong. You are not
It is
wrong.
absolutely, they're like that, and I don't like either of those things. So this does not work for me at all. And then there's a jazz trumpet solo. In fact, no, there are 2 jazz trumpet solos. Do you know what? There is so much cheese on this album. I mean, I'm surprised it isn't just weighed down by it. It's unreal. It really is unreal. Number 7 for me is Honesty. It kind of opens like a show tune, and in their place, I quite like a show tune, but their place is in the theatre. That's where these things should happen. Not in my house, not at any time. And I'm guessing I'm the only person that by this stage is kind of going, do you know, I find these vocals quite annoying. He seems to, I get there's a kind of concept here, and it kind of runs through the album before in this one. I get that. And I get he's trying to play characters and things. They're really naff, though. It's really naff. And when he kind of goes, puts on these silly voices, I'm like, we're verging into Muppet territory here. It just doesn't feel right for me at all. And it's remarkably uneventful. So, yeah, my 7, 8, and 9 are songs that I'm not even given the right titles to. That's how much I've enjoyed them.
Wow. Never has there been so much wrongness on one UK connection. Not since the last time I did Black Sabbath. There's been so much wrongness.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm actually surprised that Simon loves Billy Joel as much as he does because I have always thought that Billy Joel was kind of like a US thing and specifically like a East Coast thing because I've said this before. I mean, Billy Joel is beloved where I'm from. He's a legend. And most people, you mentioned the whole Italian American thing. I couldn't tell you any Italians that I know who don't like Billy Joel. It's not just an Italian thing. People of all, ethnic races and whatnot dig Billy Joel around here. But so honestly, Stephen, I'm really not surprised. I'm more surprised that Simon loves him as much as he does. But based on what you said, I mean, his albums sell really well in the UK. So go figure. It's not just a phenomenon here.
I,
Anyway,
yeah, I believe that he announced live shows for here in the not too distant future, and he's playing stadiums.
yeah,
So he's still a big deal here.
yeah. I mean, he has. I think he's stopped doing it, but he was playing like a month-long residency at Madison Square Garden for like 10 years straight, and every one of them was a sellout. That's 20,000 gone. Boom. And trying to get tickets for those shows was ridiculously hard. We managed to do it once, but I was almost giving up. I'm like, what are these people going to see him every single month, right? The same 20,000 people? Because hey, what about the rest of us? We'd like to go too. Anyway. All right, so Simon and I are pretty much kind of locked in here. My number 9 is also 52nd Street. And again, exactly as Simon said, it's like this, it's kind of like an old school bluesy lounge jazz type of track and pop. I like it. It's easy number 9 for me out of all these tracks, but it's easily my least favorite song, although I do like it. And I think Billy's vocals are great on it. But it's just laid back. It's just kind of old sounding, and that's fine. Kind of a weird way to end the album, I think. I would have put something else at the end of the album, but whatever. Nobody asked me, so whatever. Number 8, I'm also going to go with Half a Mile Away. I love the horns. I love the arrangement. It's just this good mix of jazz and pop. Steven is absolutely correct. There's a lot of jazz on this record. Maybe not like, you know, John Coltrane jazz, but this whole kind of like mixture of jazz and pop. I think that the arrangements are really, really well done. And I like the chorus of Half a Mile Away. I think really, really good. Great song. That's my number 8. My number 7 could be higher. I think it's a really good track. Stiletto. And I love the quirky nature of the arrangement. Again, it's using a lot of jazz in the arrangement. The piano and the organ really, really well done, and that chorus is just great. The way he says stiletto. I mean, it's just got this kind of like New York attitude about it. Just really, really good. So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any bad songs on this record. It's just the ones that I like more than others. And I think my 9, 8, and 7, I think everything from here on in could easily be at the top of the ranking. But yeah, 52nd Street, Half a Mile Away, and Stiletto, 9, 8, and 7. Back to Simon.
You see, if there's a man who knows what he's talking about, just saying. Let's see if I can diverge from Peter, shall we? Let's try my very best. Okay, so my 6, which could be 2 or 3 or 1, depending on what day it is. My 6 for today, this Saturday, is Big Shot, which is an interesting opener because very often artists tend to open their albums with the rockier, which he kind of takes from Billy Joel, quicker, pacier kind of tunes. And this is just like really quite vitriolic. Like I've read that it's either about an ex-lover or himself. You had to be a big shot, didn't you? Look, you.
You opened up your mouth, damn it. You did.
Yeah, wait to make things cheery to kick off with. But yeah, and it is really quite tough musically. It's It's quite, whoa. Yeah, it's not Candlemas, but it's okay. It's
Oh,
pretty,
not quite.
pretty no, but it's an excellent song. And aside what somebody said in the comments of the last one that this might be one of the most front-loaded albums that you can think of, and
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. Side one,
you
yeah.
know, I would be down with that. My five is let me just check what it's called. Oh, that's right,
I
Rosalinda's.
haven't heard that song. I haven't heard
Oh,
that
you
one.
know,
So
no,
no,
it's on Billy Joel's 52nd Street album.
is
He's
it?
talking about
Okay.
the bonus track, Rosalind's Eyes. It's a
Yeah,
little different, you
Yeah,
know.
I do hope that the one that you've heard is better than the one that I've heard, because the one that
it
I've heard.
really is. I'm looking at my notes, which interesting I've made for this show because I don't always. I love the vocal. I really love the vocal. I love the vocal ticks on all the songs. I'll mention some of them later. Really like. There's a real sense of kind of like belonging. He's searching for something, and he's gonna go. He's gonna find it in the somewhere in that Cuban community. He really is. The backing instrumental is just perfect. It's absolutely brilliant. It's fantastic, Stephen. I've no idea if you don't where you are on the thing. I'm looking down where you are on my thing. It's fantastic. It's just really good. And this is usually whenever we're doing one of these, there's something that when I wake up in the middle of the night, um, is in my head like an earworm. And recently it's been Rosalinda's eyes. Rosa Linda. Got it? Just those syllables, Stephen. It's not difficult, really. Do the research. Okay, so. I can't believe you've listened to it 15 to 20 times.
Honestly, I've tried to unlock something that is not there.
Oh, dear. My four is stiletto. And what I want to say about stiletto, apart from, I was going to do the whole stiletto thing at the end. The middle instrumental break is life. The middle instrumental breaking section is absolutely life affirmingly brilliant. Just full of happy joyness. It really is. No? You with me on that? I don't even know what instrument that is. I'm just not qualified to do this. And I saw Toto last night, and they played every instrument under the sun. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, I love how he just throws that out there. I saw Toto last night.
Sorry,
Yeah, they
I
keep
saw
his house,
Toto 4 days ago. Yeah, and yeah,
Well,
I,
I saw
I,
them like a year ago, and they were amazing. So I'm sure they were fantastic.
they were indeed. But just I've no idea what it is. And it just be yes, this is awesome. But it's only number four, Stephen. But I believe it's lower on yours. Please give us some more wrongness, Stephen. Please.
well, there's lots of it. Lots
Excellent,
of it. I've
excellent.
got lots of wrongness here. Okay.
Yay.
Okay. So number six for me is Half a Mile Away. And when you're not enjoying an album, you kind of try and latch on to certain things. When you think, I'm going to have to continue to listen to this because I need to know something about it, not the song titles, obviously. So Half a Mile Away almost threatens to burst into a kind of sports TV theme tune. And for a kind of half a minute or so at the start, I'm kind of going, oh, this thinks it's a boxing show. I quite like this. That kind of brass thing at the start, it's kind of big. And see, you can see Pete's in it. He's in the titles. He knows what's going on here. But the only problem is that Billy Joel's there. And he's kind of doing this thing in the background. Do you know? And it's only now that I'm thinking, I think I know where the inspiration for Fozzie Bear came from. But there you go. And unfortunately, it turns out it's not a sports TV theme because I could have liked that. And it feels like a bit of a waste because it would have been much better as that. Because he also does lots of woos as well. And I've discovered that I'm trying to give them up because I really don't like them very much. Number five for me is Stiletto. And by this stage, we're now at officially the halfway point in this. I should be finding the stuff I'm starting to go, do you know what, actually? And I'm not. This is all kind of overworked and it's overly serious. That's a real theme for me here, is that one of the ways that this not sold to me, you didn't have to sell this idea to me. I'm a willful participant in this for some strange reason. But one of the things that made me think, do you know what? I must be missing that nugget that's there is that if you'd asked me 3 years ago, Stephen, do you like Elton John? I'd have gone, yeah, his 80s hits are quite good. Apart from that, yeah. And Uncle Simon helped me see the light. That kind of 70s period, there are 3 or 4 albums there that I've gone and bought, love them. And I can understand the correlation between one and the other here. But Elton John's more playful. It's more fun. He's kind of there's maybe not a joke, but he's having fun and he's allowing you in. You can be part of my fun. Billy Joel stand there and go, whoa, 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 don't laugh. This is serious. Whoa, whoa, this isn't meant to be funny. There's nothing here to smile at. Sure, if you're going to smile, you can stay outside. And I'm the guy trying to smile. I'm trying to find something to make me happy here, and nothing's really making me very happy here. That and the fact that, I mean, they're doing things like finger clicks. I don't love a sax solo. I do love a sax solo if it's in the right place in the right song. I don't just like it if somebody goes, we need a solo spot. Throw a sax in there. That's stiletto for me. And this album, well, it doesn't rock. It doesn't rock in any shape or form, really. Not to me. Okay. Now, My Life is another one. That's my number four. That's another one that I got confused by because I watched it on YouTube or listened to it on YouTube. And I kind of thought, I like the intro to this. That intro is interesting. That's really quite good. It's moody and it's got some atmosphere about it. And then the subway train rattles through and you go, oh, and the song changes. And I've discovered that that's the outro to Stiletto, that somebody's kind of joined these bits together to make what probably was the real music video. And it gave it this kind of bit where they're all kind of obviously in a gang and they're walking across I presume that it's a basketball court, and they're all kind of knowing nods and chewing things and throwing things, and because that's what bad guys do. Bad guys chew and throw. That would appear to be the message that I took away from that. And it feels like there's a kind of fight brewing, and then instead they turn it into a Paul McCartney song. It's all you can just see Paul McCartney with that kind of way where his head's just a little bit too high for some strange reason, and he's playing away and going from side to side. And then the backing vocals basically just go, yeah, the Beatles did this much better than we do. It's such a straight lift. It's unbelievable. And I would go as far as to say that My Life is okay. It's a bit twee, it's a bit ho-hum, and it's a bit pleasant. Uncle Simon might even call it nice. It's nice. It's nice. And it's trying to be mean and moody. And when you see Billy Joel, who, all due respect to Billy, looks about 4'2" in the video, throwing away his cigarette and walking across this wee basketball court like this, and he looks less threatening than you could possibly imagine. Go and watch it. Couldn't be any less threatening, and he's trying to be threatening. Yeah, okay. That's enough for me just now, I think.
Somebody somewhere in the world is watching this with the sound off and thinking, why is that Scottish guy being Stevie Wonder?
Well, let's not even go down that route. If they've got the sound off, they won't even know that I'm the Scottish guy.
No, they've seen you before, but they've turned that bit off because they saw that.
They've definitely seen me before then.
It's funny, and hearing this so far, Simon, I'm thinking that he probably would not like The Stranger, and I'm wondering if maybe Glass Houses might be the album for him in this catalog.
Could be,
Right?
could be.
Yeah,
But
I think so.
maybe Turnstiles or something that's more.
Yeah, Turnstile's pretty upbeat. Yeah. He might even like Los Angelinos from the second album. That might be something that might.
Does he ever rock?
Yeah, yeah.
Does he?
That's why I'm thinking Glass Houses might be for you, because that's probably his most rock album, I think.
Okay.
Don't
Yeah.
don't go for Stormfront produced by Mick Jones. Don't just. No.
Yeah, that probably. And I tell you, I don't think you'd like Piano Man.
Probably not by the sound of that so far.
Great
I,
songs. Sounds
I
like
like
it.
I like piano. I do like piano. I'm not convinced I need piano to be the lead instrument as much as it is here.
Gotcha. Okay.
So much
I
musicians have
could
so
point
many
out
things
that
going on, and the piano's always doing this all the time. And I'm just like, have a break. Please have a break.
but Stephen, he is the piano man.
Well, I kind of get the reference. Yeah, I absolutely understand that. Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's why me and him don't seem to get along very well.
No.
All right. Well, my number six is Until the Night. What a chorus. Ah, so good. It's lush, it's emotional, it's just the chorus just made this whole song just soars and soars and soars. It's just beautiful. Love Until the Night. So good. You mentioned that was released as a single in the UK. I'm surprised they didn't push that as a single here. I really
Mhm.
think that would have been something that would have caught on here, but whatever. I think it's a great song. That's my number six. My number five is Rosalinda's Eyes, which Simon, I get a Steely Dan thing from that song a little bit.
Which is
It's kind
weird
of
because
playful. It's kind of jazzy pop. Great
I don't
chorus.
like Steely Dan. get the contradictions in all this.
Yep.
I know.
Well, if you like Rosalinda's Eyes, maybe you should listen to more Steely Dan.
Listen to a lot of the Dam. I've tried.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised you don't like
No,
Steely Dan.
no, Stephen, we are not ranking the Dam. We're not going down that route.
Thank
No, we're
goodness
not.
for
We
that.
didn't. Good.
You don't like them either? Oh my God.
No, not at all. Sorry. As you can kind of
Oh.
tell from, I mean, Rosalinda's Eyes was my number nine. So if that's the one that's kind of like Steely Dan, it tells a story.
Well, I mean, it's just got a Steely Dan feel to it, but wow, you guys don't like Steely Dan. Jesus. Yeah, well, whatever. My number four is Honesty. It's so emotional. It's really one of his best sing-along songs in this entire catalog. I mean, it's just I remember like growing up, and my mother would be singing Honesty, and I'd be singing Honesty, and I'm like, I'm a Kiss fan. Why the fuck am I singing this song? Because it's great. That's why. Yeah, it's just so good. I mean, that chorus is, it's just unforgettable. Absolutely unforgettable. Again, Honesty also should have been an enormous hit here. I know we have the other big songs here, but man, Honesty, it's so, so good. Absolutely love it to death. Could have even been higher. That just goes to show you how good the other three songs are for me. But, and Simon hasn't mentioned Honesty yet, so I think that's coming up real soon. So back to you, Simon.
If I haven't mentioned it, I'm about to make a massive fuck up, aren't I? But I don't think I am. Although Stephen probably will think I am, because my number three is Zanzibar. Oh, it really could have been number one. Really could. Really, really could. Um, really could. Billy Joel does sometimes like to play around with real life figures, historical figures, and you can see a through line between this and We Didn't Start the Fire, which I really don't like. It's like, oh, let's just name things that happened. Oh yeah, in sequence, and we'll. Okay, anyway, Zanzibar, however, is great. Oh my God, he's got a fantastic jazz trumpet solo. Who doesn't love jazz trumpet solos? Hands up at the bottom. There you go. It's absolutely fantastic. There's baseball metaphors in there, and I don't like baseball. I don't understand baseball. Don't get it. Look, it is like as I think Stephen so correctly for once. The only correct thing that he said tonight. It is like a slightly tougher Barry Manilow. Yeah, you absolutely could see the character going from Zanzibar, popping out, singing the songs that make the whole world sing, and going down to the Copacabana and killing Lola. You could absolutely see that. Zanzibar is absolutely off the scale, brilliant. It really is. This is just a fantastic top three. My two was one early, and now it's two. I'm going to go with My Life. I love the opening. That it just sets it up. Oh God, that's so exciting. Stephen doesn't think so, but he's wrong. It's kind of new wavy. That kind of. Yes, thank you. I actually wrote really exciting. And again, it's brilliantly arranged. Really, is. I know where every fill is of every instrument. So it's just absolutely great. And it sometimes when you listen, you think, like I said previously, I think, does it need some more oomph at that point? No, it doesn't. It's just perfect as it is. It needs more oomph when you're playing to a stadium of 60,000 people. Of course it does, and a 12-piece band because you got to fill everything. But on record, it's absolutely brilliant, absolutely perfect. I love it. My one, obviously, is Honestly. You're talking about singing along. I was driving down Burnley Road in Accrington the other night, and I was singing my head off to this.
How can you not, right? That's so
Like,
good.
honestly, it's such a lonely word, isn't it? It
Yes, it
really
is.
is. Don't you find that everyone is so untrue? I
They
find
are
that.
always.
But one of the reasons why it's number one is that when I first met Mrs. Simon, and the lyric that says, "When I'm deep inside of me, don't be too concerned. I won't ask for nothing while I'm gone." She went, "That's you." Oh fuck. That's you. When you fuck off somewhere and you're not paying attention and you're overthinking everything, that's you. Oh, all right. Thanks. It makes me think of Mrs. Simon, and she's a sometimes nuanced person. Yes, but what a great song. And oh, there I go. I'm back again. It's my number
I think
one, but
Mrs. Simon was controlling the camera there for a second, I think.
well, actually, right now, hopefully, she's controlling the bloody dogs. Not coming in the thing. No, no, we're not. But yeah, Honesty is absolutely great. But any of the top three or four are my favorites at any given time. because it's a great album, Stephen. It's even better than the Doobie Brothers. I'm just saying.
Oh,
who have a
yes.
new album coming out, by the way. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
I have
Steven's like,
something to
yeah,
say
and
about
Sorry,
I have something to say
I'm
about the
so
Doobie
sorry.
Brothers at the end, if you don't mind.
That was just tumbleweed just went through here. Sorry, there we go.
Please remind me. I want to complain at the end.
Oh, he doesn't. Simon wants to complain. I mean, he always does, but there you go.
I do.
Anyway,
I'm going to
so
do it at the end.
okay, so my number three. See, I'm all over the place here. Obviously, is 52nd Street. As title tracks go, yeah, that's a bit weird. It's reasonably uneventful. Um, it's kind of just strutting about, trying to be threatening. It's not really convinced anybody that it is, and it's just kind of there. It's not offensive. It's not exciting. It's just kind of there. That's not what you expect from a title track. Title tracks are not kind of holding songs, and it's in the wrong place in the album. It's all a bit weird in that sense. But the fact that I'm being so ho hum about a song that's number three out of nine, anyway. Number two is Big Shot. Now, I really, now, at last, I'm kind of going, now I understand why when I say things like, I quite like that Elton John chap, they all go, oh, you like Billy Joel then? I get that now. Okay, because this is a kind of US take on that piano heavy sound. The guitars have a bit more bite here. This basically is Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. That's what this song is. There are sections of you go, yeah, okay, I see what you're doing here. Um, and again, I don't like the vocals much. I just don't like the vocal delivery. He's injecting a bit more urgency and attitude. I just think he sounds a bit silly, to be honest with you. But there you go. I don't like much the brass. I don't like the brass solo much either. Yeah, I'm at number two here, and I'm finally at a point where I think, yeah, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. Which leaves me with my number one. Okay, now before I talk about my number one, I'm going to talk about the contradiction here. And the contradiction is that the production's excellent on this album. The arrangements are amazing on this album. The hooks are everywhere. I don't like this album. I don't know if I've managed to get that message across here. I don't like this very much. I have been bloody well singing the damn thing, okay, because you do walk away from it and you sing the choruses, even though I don't like them when they're playing. And I find myself doing it and
go
going, what the
ahead with your own life. Leave me alone. You never
leave me
can.
alone. Absolutely. There you go. What's in my head now could it leave me alone?
See that?
Even when I'm singing it, I'm still going, why am I singing this? I
I
don't
don't like
like it.
this. It sucks, but I'm still
I
singing it,
don't
damn
like
it.
this. And then, boom, we get Until the Night. Wow. Where has this been the whole album? Do you know? I mean, don't get me wrong, it starts out as a croon, and I can live without that. But I tell you what, we're a minute and 30 seconds into a 6 minute plus song, and the chorus kicks in, and suddenly we're in another world. Not just from the start of the song, but from the whole album. This song isn't meant for this album. It's meant to be somewhere else entirely. It doesn't belong here. It's too good to be on the rest of this album. It really just genuinely goes, please help. I was lost here. I was left here. Please come and take me away. The cheese is gone. Suddenly there's atmosphere and there's scope and it's all ramped up. And there's nothing short of one of the best choruses that you'll ever find anywhere. It's grandiose, it's impassioned, it's memorable, and it's utterly irresistible. And I love the sax solo. See, it's not, I've nothing against a saxophone. Put it in the right place, on the right song, played with the right sounds, and it soars. It's absolutely fantastic. I have to be honest and say I found this album a real chore, a real chore. And I have tried really hard with it. And I really don't like it. This is one of the best songs I've heard in a long time that I wasn't aware of. I absolutely love it.
I think you said enough stuff in those last three picks that make me think that there might be hope for you yet in the Billy Joel catalog.
I believe the food. I need to refer you to a certain Derek W. Dick. I think that's called clutching at straws.
Could be. I'm glad you found something you liked here at least or loved.
Loved it.
Until the Night
Loved
is a
it.
great song. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Cool. All right. My number three is My Life. The big hit on the album, an instant anthem. I love the piano opening. It's just such a catchy song. I agree with you. The video is utterly ridiculous because Joel running around with that leather jacket and stuff, he doesn't look intimidating at all, but it is what it is. I mean, That's like New York in the 70s. Everybody looked like that. Everybody thought they were a tough guy, whatever. It's not really a tough guy song, unfortunately, but it's a great song. I love the piano melodies. I love the chorus. The tough guy song in this album is Big Shot, which is my number two. I mean, Big Shot, all of a sudden the guitar muscle comes out. Oh, no, 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 you want to be a big shot. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's one of his great rockers. Again, he doesn't have a lot of songs like this, but it's really great to hear the guitar up front with the piano on this. I love the chorus. I think it's a great track. It's a great way to start the album, I think. So, really, really good stuff. And my number one, I got the old man's car. I got a jazz guitar. I got a tab at Zanzibar. Tonight, it's where I'll be. I'll be. This is a great song. Zanzibar is amazing. It's got one of my favorite choruses that I just spoke about in this entire catalog. I love the jazzy feel of it, and it's just such a great story about a young man growing up in New York. He's got his dad's car for the night. Whether his dad said he could take it or not is a whole other story, which they don't really get into. He's got his guitar in the back seat. He's got a tab at the bar. He's hoping to get the ladies to come watch him play guitar at the Zanzibar. It's just such a great story. It's a great story about youth in New York City in that time period, I think. And yes, it is like the second cousin to Coco Cabana. And you can't not hear Barry Manilow when you listen to this song. It's so much fun. I absolutely love Zanzibar. To me, it was number one. That's the first thing I put on my list. I'm like, well, Zanzibar's number one. I'll have to figure everything else out. I think Zanzibar is a great, great song. Again, should have been a massive hit. They have a couple other songs that were bigger hits. Zanzibar is amazing. I absolutely love it.
Okay. More to say there, really. I tried.
You can't love everything, right? I mean, I
Okay.
think we've made that point pretty clear that there's always going to be albums that don't connect with people, and it is what it is. Like I said, I'm very surprised that Simon loves Billy Joel as much as he does because I thought maybe, well, I mean, I already knew Simon was a fan, but if I didn't know Simon as well as I do, I would have thought, there's no way that Simon would like any of this stuff. But it does connect with people. Even surprising to me though, because to me, it just Billy Joel just seems like a phenomenon geographically where I'm from, but apparently not, except in Scotland.
No, he is very popular here in Scotland. I am
Okay,
out
all
of
right.
step there too. I'm out of step. I think, and I might be wrong. Somebody can correct me. I think he's
Just
playing
not at that
Murrayfield.
one address in Perth. Oh, that's
That's it.
there you
That's
go.
exactly it. Yes,
There you
I
go.
think he's playing Murrayfield here in Scotland, which was one of probably the three biggest stadiums in the country. So, I mean, he's doing okay.
Yeah. But I would say based on kind of this whole episode here, Stephen, if you decide that you want to see, well, maybe there's something else in this catalog that might really grab me. I would go to Glass Houses, and maybe Turnstiles it might be. You got to listen to The Stranger though, because The Stranger has like a few like legendary songs from it. If you can't get into The Stranger at all, then there maybe isn't any hope for you here. But Glass Houses is his more rockin' album, moving into the 80s album. You might like that because that's pretty upbeat.
Before we listened to this one and ranked these songs, I'm sure you'd have said, Stephen, if you can't get into 52nd Street, okay, I'm just saying. I mean, there's one shining light on this album, and I'm not sure how many albums I can listen to that I didn't connect with as strongly as I didn't connect with this to find what is a phenomenal gem, in my humble opinion, in Unchained the Night.
Yeah.
But that's I really don't get the rest of it at all. And I've also in since this first came round as an idea, first I think Billy Joel was first mentioned a long time ago. I've also listened to his greatest hits and a live album. I just don't get it. I've also a couple of times stumbled across there's a black and white live show that sometimes shows on Sky Arts over here. And same again, there are other people I know that tell me, you should like this guy, Stephen. And I've sat and watched 10 minutes of it a couple of times at different points and thought, I'm not here. I don't get it. I don't understand it at
Yeah.
all.
Have you heard Captain Jack?
Is that an
Captain
album or a
Jack
song?
will get you high tonight. It's one of his early great, great epic tracks.
If it's on his greatest hits, then yes, but I couldn't tell you if it is or
Or
not, to be
Italian
honest.
scenes from Italian restaurant. That's like one of his
Yeah,
beloved
I've
songs.
heard that. Yes, I don't really. There's not that. This is Unchained the Night's the first thing I've listened to from the catalogue that made me think, wow. I mean, I genuinely mean it. I know it sounds odd after having really kicked this album hard. The guy's a songwriter. Like, I absolutely get it. I just don't like it. I'm not
Mhm.
suggesting that it's rubbish and he's crap. That's actually really not what I'm saying. He's very talented and I understand what he's doing. I I'm a mile away from connecting with it though. He's heading off in this direction and I'm over here somewhere. It's
It happens, you know. I mean, that's what music's all about, right? It's just what do we always say here on the channel? We all hear things differently,
differently.
right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I get it. What are you gonna do? But give Glass
Mm.
Houses a try because I think that might be no, because that's more of a rock album, and I think it's definitely it's him moving into a new era. And again, if that you may or may not like it, maybe give it a cursory listen on YouTube and see if it's
Okay.
kind of clicks any boxes for you. But it may not, but it's still Billy
No
Joel,
problem.
but it's a little bit more. It's more rocking. It's more upbeat stuff, and yeah, whatever. All right. Well, for
But,
everybody watching,
I was
yes.
going to say, well, what Simon wants to, he's got a genuine concern here.
want to have a wine, and I don't know where else to do it. I just don't know where
Well, we're
else to
here.
do
You
it.
might as well, right?
We might as well wine, and it's music related. So this summer, right on July, maybe on the 15th of July. So a couple of weeks ago, I got tickets to see what now passes for Lynyrd Skynyrd and Blackberry Smoke at the what is this now the smaller arena in Manchester, right? And then a couple of days ago, Stephen's favourites, the Doobie Brothers, who are a bucket list band for me, announced a show on July the 15th at the big arena, where last year they supported what many people describe as Thegals. They supported Thegals, and normally they play the Apollo, which holds about 2.5, 3,000 people, and then they go into a venue that I think holds in excess of 20,000 people. On the same night as Lynyrd Skynyrd, somebody was fucked up big style.
Yeah.
All three
Like
should be playing together in one night. That's what should have happened.
very much so, in the big arena, which
Yes.
I've never been to and don't really plan to do so because I believe the
So,
car 5.6
Simon, I
versus
got to ask you, all right, because, well, when everybody's watching this, the news is already old. Uh, are you going to make your way to Birmingham on July 5th?
Stephen already knows the answer to this
I
question.
know it too. I know it too, but I figured I'd ask anyway.
No. And I could tell you, truthfully, it's Mrs. Simon's birthday weekend, and she doesn't like Black Sabbath. That,
Uh,
that would be the truth.
Not even Alice in Chains and Pantera and Slayer and all those other bands. And
There are no words to describe how much I don't like Alice in Chains.
that's a shame. Okay, well,
And
It's
I've
a shame.
really gone off Pantera as well. It's just some,
Yeah,
I can get
we're
past
not in
some
the
things
same.
that some
Sorry.
people say, but not him. No, no, I struggle to get past some of the things that he said. And also, it's not really. Says the man who's going to see Lynyrd Skynyrd. Can you see the contradiction again? I know. I know. No. As I said to Stephen earlier today, it's almost like they picked the bill to say, stay away, Sam.
Now, I must admit, it's obviously a much further distance for me. I'm tempted. I'm tempted. I mean, I've seen Sabbath once, and that was when Ozzy was the support or opening at Ozfest, and then Sabbath headlines with him singing, and he didn't manage to sing properly for either set, particularly. I think from memory it was Vinny Appice on drums. I've never seen Bill Ward, so that would be something to tick off. I think that
if
the
I
lineup.
was living in the UK, regardless of whether I was in Scotland, Ireland, or wherever, I would be at that show.
Yeah, I just don't know if the upside outweighs the downside because Ozzy can't sing. He can't do it. I've just no doubt. I mean, and I appreciate. Hi there, my name's Stephen, and I'm a Kiss fan. I appreciate that I've been to see a band in recent years who find other ways around a singer that can't sing. Okay, I get all that. So they may try that. I don't think they will, to be fair, and kudos to them if they don't, because they shouldn't. Um, that in itself puts me off. The bill below it, though, with that above it, Wow, that is special. That's
Well, I think
physically what
what's gonna
stand
happen,
for.
I guarantee you this, what's gonna happen is they're gonna play a short set. It's gonna
Yeah.
be Paranoid, Iron Man, War Pigs, and maybe one other track. I can't imagine them doing a full set. Ozzy will probably do a short set with a solo band, and that's gonna be it. You're mainly going there to see all the other bands and then a big jam at the end where they're gonna play some Sabbath classics. That's how the day's gonna
I,
go.
I think you know if I'm picking this up correctly, Metallica are on this bill. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So if Metallica are not headlining something of this size in the UK, you know they are really. Okay. I would imagine they'll get as long a set as maybe Ozzy and Sabbath combined.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
And I looked at the undercard, if you want to call a bill that's that strong, the undercard.
You got Lamb of
Um,
God, and I mean, there's all
yeah,
sorts of Gojira. There's some good
yeah,
stuff out there.
absolutely. I'm kind of on the same page as Simon with Pantera. I'm more on board with Skinner. At least that there's a bit of lineage there, and it's kind of carried on. Pantera stopped, and then we went. People will pay to see this anyway. It's a different argument. Um, I like a couple of their albums, to be fair. I am tempted, and I didn't so much put the feelers out to some friends today. That tells you what day this was recorded. Um, and to see if anyone would go, well, do you know what? If you want to go, I'll go. And nobody's bitten like that. So tickets are not on
No?
sale yet. There's time. They might. Who knows? There's one that was kind of like,
Well, Stephen, if I lived closer, you and me would be going.
well, that would be a definite then. So there you go.
You,
If you
you,
can
me,
get
and
over
Chris Allen would be right there. Let me tell you, that's
that,
yeah.
yeah, I am tempted. We'll see. It might happen.
All right. Well, give us a little bit of insight into the next episode here on the UK Connection.
Well, we are nothing if not diverse. Okay, so we've gone from Billy Joel and his Simon approved jazz album to we are going to go back to 2015 and we're going to each choose our three favorite power metal albums from 2015. We've done one of these from many decades before, a few months back. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So we're going to do 2015, something a bit more recent this time.
Cool. Another fun power metal episode. This should be good. I have
Yep.
not even started looking yet. So, did you guys pick yours yet?
Yep.
Yep.
Wow, I am behind the curve. Well, I've had a lot going on the personal side. So, but I will dive into this weekend, and I will be ready in 2 weeks. So, till then, everybody get your three favorite power metal albums from 2015 ready to discuss in the comments below 2 weeks from today. And in the meantime, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. But for today's episode, rank the songs on 52nd Street by Billy Joel, down below, down there, underneath Steven, down there, about a couple miles down below, somewhere down there, and rearrange them, rank them as you like them. Tell us if you think it's great or if it sucks. I would hope there's not too many sucks. We want Steven to be the only one talking about how it sucks, because Simon and I were very disappointed, right? So, but anyway, we'll see you next time here on the UK Connection. For Simon Bray and Steven Reid, I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in 2 weeks for Power Metal. Till then, take care. Bye bye.